So now he's all alone.
Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Vexilarius, and today we're going to be doing a behind the scenes of The Ground. A couple things before I get started. One, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Lay Dumpster. You can check out his channel in the description. Second thing is, if I sound weird and if there's lots of sniffling, it is because I'm allergic to air and pollen wants to kill me. So, let's get started. Yeah, so I'm just going to be basically telling you all about The Ground and how it started and like what is about it, I guess. So let's go ahead and get going. If there's lots of like glitching and stuff, like if I don't know if you can see the CPU meter or not. If there's like lots of glitching and stuff and it sounds like really bad, it's because my computer core sucks and my screen recorder takes up lots of energy as well as FL Studio. So please bear with me, as the hardware I have does not support this kind of stuff anyways. So as you can see, this project file looks really, really short, and it's because this is not the project file for The Ground. This is where The Ground started. I was making this house track that I thought sounded pretty cool, but I wasn't really getting anywhere with it. Like, I thought it started off cool, but I didn't really know what to do after that. Just kind of that, like, chill vibe, and then it would come in with a kick over here. And then it would have like this cool, and then I came into like this thing over here, which was supposed to be like my build-up. And then there's a tempo envelope right here. And basically what that does is it changes the tempo up here. So you go into this thing over here, and it started getting faster. Alright, and that might sound familiar to you, and that is because that is where the melody of The Ground came from. And I went into 170, and I just couldn't get this project to work for me. It was just kind of being stupid. I just couldn't figure anything out. So I scrapped the project, but I grabbed the melody. Okay, I copied the melody, and then I opened The Ground. There we go. It'll probably glitch out, and this, yeah, the CPU is already winging out a little bit. So we start out with that thing there, which... Jeez, stop. And we're back. So, okay, good, it stopped. So, again, tempo 170. So that's the whole project kind of going along there. We'll probably go through most of it. So I found this sampler called RGC Audio SVZ, and it comes with some orchestral samples. So I went and got a staccato. It's a second violin staccato, and I was just screwing around with these. Actually, no, that's a lie. I took the melody. That's right, I took the melody, and I made this pretty much. Let me just cut that out. And it's doing that thing I told you it was going to do because the CPU hates me, and I can try and make it better. I don't know if that's going to do anything. Let's do that. I don't know if that actually helped or not, but I'm going to keep it. Playback tracking, what? Alright. Well, it's because freaking stupid running it and whine. Okay, so, yeah, so basically I put this in here and I was screwing around with that. I thought that sounded cool. Also, before I continue, I know I did not mix it. Let me show you I know I didn't really mix it. So, thank you for your comments telling me that I needed to mix it. Or, not comments on, like, the song itself anywhere, but comments on this video. I know I need to mix it. Thank you for telling me. I already knew that. And I guess technically the mixing that I do, in air quotes, is just adjusting volumes of stuff. But, yeah, so basically I made this drop, okay? And at the time I didn't have the vocals, which are, a story all on their own. I'm trying to get this back here. So yeah. Yeah, that offset did absolutely nothing. I'll change that. Okay, so basically I just did that. I came over here, I did the second one. I'll just play this for you. I'll try not to play it all in the same thing. I need to lower this a little bit because it's loud. Yeah, so I made that one too. That was the addition to the actually. And then the other one, this was the melody that I copied, as you've probably heard. That's the one I copied from the other song that I was working on that I just scrapped. And so I made this. And then I started working on the before stuff. So I moved the drop over a little ways, and I came over here, and I think I originally just had the piano. Which I think were the same chord. I don't know what that was. I think those were the same chords from the other project. And then I found, as I was just talking about, I think I had this already, and I'd already been screwing around with it. But then I found... Oh, okay. That's... I'll remember that next time. Okay, so then I just had these, and I thought that sounded cool. Following basically this pattern of blum, 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 or da, 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 so. And then I went into the second one, just did every other, or the second and fourth. And then I did the same thing over here, but I made sure that it matched the chord over here. And so it started out like that, and then I thought I needed something else, so then I added the lead thing, which I'll just play for you here, and again, move this down. Can't really hear it there. Let me come over here. There we go. And most of these melodies just come to me like as I'm placing them out, so there's no like tip I can really teach you on melodies. I just do what normally I know what a scale sounds like, especially if I've heard the chords. So I wouldn't be able to assign like a letter to it, so I just screw around, but I know that it's within the scale. So I just do that. Then I did the drum thing over here, which was basically just this simple pattern right here. And then I added a synth over here, which could have been layered with something, I guess. And there's the filter on that. That's what I had over here as well. There was a filter. And so I filtered that up, and then I did like this wow thing over here. So when you hear the synth do its that thing. And then I added a pad, which I made myself. So that sounds... Yeah, so I added that in there, added the violin, again with the piano, got some melody. I tried to make this one really orchestral as well, which I'm actually really pleased. I know I didn't humanize them or whatever, but I don't really care right now. This is just a hobby for me, so if I think it sounds cool, then I do it. Then I had this piano thing, which I thought kind of followed the melody a little bit of the vocals, because I think I made these after I had the vocals. And then I had these, which just added some extra harmony notes. Some higher frequencies, I guess. And then there were the vocals, which I don't want to show off, so I won't play like all of them right there. Oh my goodness. And I don't want people stealing it and trying to remix the song, even though they could probably just do it anyways. Yeah, so one interesting thing about the vocals, I guess I'll just talk about the lyrics for a second, was that the original line, which I don't have the lyrics pulled up. I don't know what I named the lyric file for that. Although maybe I didn't, because I did write it down on paper. Yeah, so there was this poem that someone told me like a year ago, and I remember the premise of the poem, but I don't actually remember the poem. I just remember the line something about, but they stared at the ground or something like that. And I don't even know if that was the actual line, but I thought I could probably take something like that and turn it into something of my own. And so I changed it, but he stared at the ground, afraid to move closer, forgot who he was, forgot why he loved her. You know, I'll just freaking, you know what? Come here.
But he stared at the ground, afraid to move closer, forgot who he was, forgot why he loved her. He chased lust and left love to cry on its own. He couldn't take it back, so now he's all alone.
Okay, so yeah, those are the lyrics. I won't just say them all in my monotone voice. Yeah, so I won't go into the meaning. Other than that, they were actually really emotional for me to write, especially during the time that I was writing them. Lots of, I guess, imagery, and I guess it's not really that hard to pick up on what it's kind of literal, but it's also got like the imagery that I enjoyed creating with that. Something enough about like the meaning and all that. Something else over here was I had to do this, and so if we watch what happens in the mixer over here as we're going, look at this right here. Look at that.
Couldn't take it back, so now he's all.
Okay, so you know what? We just won't do that. We'll take that, and it might get loud. But basically what I did was I changed the volume.
Couldn't take it back, so now he's all alone.
And I had to do that because when I didn't do that, there is like this build-up thing here. That's without the filter. Hold on. I think that... There was kind of that thing. There was also the synth coming in. Where's the... No, this thing. There was kind of this like rise, this build up. Because what I do with my songs is I normally have like a quiet segment. Like after an intro, I normally have like a quiet segment, and then I'll either go into a build up, which is louder, and then goes into the drop, or I'll just go right into the drop. Kind of like with End of Time, but I built up a little bit more before the drop in this one than the End of Time. Even this one pretty much goes straight into the drop anyways. I felt that it had a better effect on the whole song and on the drop itself. I've been recording for a long time. I've probably been doing too many complicated things. So yeah, I had to raise the volume so that you could actually hear that part, which even though it was still louder than everything else, I still had to make it louder. And that was, I think, a lot of takes, because I like to record my vocals all in one thing, and I get mad when I am off a note, so I try to be as perfect as possible. And I go through the drop, and then I wanted to add something more, and I remember there was this ARP sample that I found/made. Found somebody made it. It was Quince, actually, or Synth, whoever he calls himself now. I saw him make this, so I watched him make it, and I made it myself. And so it does that thing. The other one went down a little bit. But it was basically this part where I thought it needed something, so I added that, and then I took the first lead and the second lead and put them in another two areas here. And then I went into like some orchestral thing, because I did like the piano vocals right here, which kind of mimicked the vocal melody. last one. And so they didn't follow the vocal melody to a T, but it was still it still mimicked it a lot, and I just wanted that to be there. So like right after the drop. And I was adding it in with the other piano. I had some more strings. I had a bass string, and I just made a motion that you couldn't see. And I also had the other piano melody. Holy crap, congestion. Ah, sweet tea is delicious. And so I had these other melodies here. And then I basically just copied the whole thing and added this build up. And the thing was that the lead and the synth were so loud that I didn't actually do anything with the volume of these. They just kind of faded away as the lead and the synth took over, which is probably bad mixing, but that's okay. And so then I go into this thing. And one thing, if you've heard End of Time, is that I will normally take my vocals that I use for a quote chorus or a tag or something, I don't know. I'll take that and I'll usually repeat them again somewhere with End of Time, do harmonies or something like that, which was, I think, currently the only song that I have ever released that has done that, which was cool, but I need to do it again. I didn't do it here. I don't know why I didn't. So I just kind of had this build-up thing here. And then I did another snare build-up. Again, automating a filter on that. And then I just took the last part. Okay, I'm peaking CPU over here. And because the vocal automation happened over here and I never turned it back down, it was already at the same level. So it was just a little bit louder at the beginning part. Same drop, it's the same exact drop, actually, I think, which was, I think, easier for me, but I think I was also trying to push this little sucker out. So, actually, I remember it was like, I think that I pretty much got to this part, which is basically the lead for this part, but instead it was actually exactly copy and pasted, but there were no slide notes. I just replaced them with actual notes. And then the ARP kind of sound over here was slower. So instead of being like, it was half the speed. Because if it was twice that speed, there's like the little tap thing you hear with the key. That would just go really fast and be like freaking annoying. And then there's just this one where it has the note like resonate out. And so I think I had done that, and then I made some small minor changes, and then I was like, sweet, and I exported it, and I started rendering the video, and I remember that night laying in bed just like, oh, I probably could have like done so many better, like so many better things. I think that's how you say that. So many better things to this song, like I probably could, and then I released it, and you guys ate it up. Like I was really happy with that, and I can't actually thank you guys enough for the support. I think it has like 30 likes on SoundCloud now. Like that's ridiculous, man. I think that is the song on my SoundCloud that has the most, unless it's Things I Do Remix, which got a ton of support as well. But I don't think I'll go into that project. Yeah, if you guys want another behind the scenes, just let me know. I think that's about it. I probably left some stuff out, but that's okay. I've been recording for a really long time, and I've got to edit this, and I've got to do more homework, and I got to go to bed, and I have things to study for. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.